Yo, 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 this is Ty, Theofficialtai. Welcome back to my channel. Today, in lieu of being purposeful, as usual, because that's what we do, right? Right, that's what we do. I just want to explain a little bit about what's going on right now with this controversy on the EIDL program, the EIDL loan program. Some people don't get it. Yes, it is a loan, but it says program at the end. So one part is a loan, and the other part of the program is the $10,000 grant, okay?
Yo, 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 this is Ty. Welcome to the official TAI channel. Stay tuned.
So let me go ahead and tell you what's going on with this EIDL grant. Yes, we are still receiving the EIDL grant. Yes, we are still receiving the loans. Let me just put that out there. And no, it's not $1,000 per employee. Okay, just want to let you know for the grant, it is not $1,000 per employee, and I'll explain that to you a little later. This controversy derived because the CARES Act, this second CARES Act, was pretty much a changed or deleted or amended portion of the first one. So some people are comparing what the qualifications were for the initial one, and then you got some people on the other side that are now looking at what the new regulations are. Granted, we don't even have all the information just yet on the EIDL loan, and it's pretty much a small business loan and grant and stuff like that anyway. However, with the information that we do have as of right now, we have, no, it is not $1,000 per employee. It is still $10,000 of a grant for these small businesses that qualify for this loan. Again, you don't have to accept the terms of it, but you do have to qualify for it. Meet the criteria. The criteria is, one, you have to have less than 300 employees. Even if it's one employee, that's okay. And it can still be considered as a small business or consider you as a gig worker. Then I have the economic loss. The economic loss has to be by 30% in any 8-week given period during this pandemic. So if you can prove for 8 weeks that you did lose drastically your revenue, your income for your business, and then located in a low income area. That area has to be not where you live, where the business is. Because some people actually own businesses and live way out in the sticks somewhere, and then they actually have a business in the city, believe it or not. So it is where the business is, because this is all about your business, not your personal business. And then last but not least, or I should say first, would be to apply for the loan and become eligible. Again, you don't have to accept the terms, just become eligible for the loan. So the controversy is because of the wording for this new CARES Act. And it goes as follows. The CARES Act language was pretty much written up for interpretation. So it wasn't like saying you must do this, you shall do that. It was kind of like a open-ended question, an open-ended statement, that you pretty much, as long as you follow the initial guidelines, you can distribute the funds any way you choose to, because it doesn't have that particularly in there that you can't. So that's kind of what saved the ladies behind that decided to distribute all the funds for $1,000 per employee. And I kind of get it. She probably knew, okay, this isn't enough money to give to everyone. So in order to try to meet most of the people, at least, we're only going to give out $1,000 per employee. Sis made this up on her own. This had nothing to do with the SBA. This had nothing to do with the CARES Act and everything that everybody said. This is what this lady decided to do on her own. She took the words up for her own interpretation, and technically she wasn't wrong. She was not wrong to do that. And this is the part where me, Kevin, is actually looking at it as, okay, this is still gold. These words are still, and her word is bond even for this. But that part wasn't written in the actual act to give out only $1,000. That part wasn't. It was for the $10,000. So I'm going to put a little chart up here and a little chart right here, or bullets, I should say. So that way you can see old versus the new. Old Testament versus the New Testament. Still the same God. Get it? Like I said, the CARES Act language from the first stimulus as well as this one, it wasn't as direct as it should have been. Pretty much the way it was written, it gave the administrator, pretty much it gave the administrator wiggle room to disperse the money as she did, but on her own, basically, because it wasn't rules. It wasn't do this, then do that. It wasn't a chart. It wasn't guidelines. It was like, here, this is what you do. This is what it's for. Distribute it. That was it. So she did, the best that she could, I'm assuming. And that's when the administrator decided, okay, from this 10,000, we're not going to give everybody the 10,000 because we're going to run out of funds faster. We're going to give everybody 1,000 per employee, which is not fair because you may have those mom and pop stores that have 2 employees and they had to close for 9 months because of COVID. That's not fair. Whereas you have the big corporation that may have more employees, 10 or more, and all they got was a 10,000. They could have had 50 employees. You can't even feed them either, so you still got to close up. So it was a hit or miss for the young lady, unfortunately, the administrator. And pretty much she decided to distribute the allowance under her own discretion and limit the money to $1,000 per employee. Again, I'm not faulting her for it. However, here's a then and here's a now. There's 3 things I'm going to put up here on each side of myself so that way you can see the old versus the new CARES Act and how all this controversy came about. One thing is I'm going to have it says that the admin shall, because this is the way it's written, legal, legal terms, the admin shall. One of them is under timing. The admin shall approve you or let you know if you're not approved within 3 days. That was on the old CARES Act. On the new CARES Act, you now have 21 days. This gives them more time to research and make sure that you're really even eligible for this money. That's why all that fraud happened months ago with this first CARES Act, when the pandemic first happened, when the first stimulus package, first hit us. That's why it was so much fraud. They only had 3 days. Those poor people, I'm sure they got hundreds of millions of applicants, and they had 3 days to say yay or nay. So they probably rushed a few things, and if you met a certain criteria, they didn't have time to look into it. Now they got 21 days. So if you are applying for this, and I just want to let you know, have integrity. Just like I said in my previous videos, just have integrity when you apply for this. The second one is the amounts. Literally the amount. So on the original CARES Act, from the first stimulus package, it says that entities may request up to $10K. Again, the allowance was up to $10K. Well, now it has been revised. The wording has been revised so that way no room for interruption or controversy or anything like that. Now the wording is qualified applicants will get $10,000 in grants. Yes, qualified applicants will get $10,000 in grants or the difference thereof. As my homie Jason McElhone, please don't shoot the messenger for butchering your last name, Jason, because you are the bomb. You've been doing this. You've been pulling this wagon for months when nobody else was on this wave. So I commend you, Jason. I just don't know your last name, though. But anyway, at any rate, they have, again, qualified applicants can get $10,000 in allowance and grants and forgivable funds. I don't know any other way to describe a grant to you. Or the difference of, in case you were already given that $1,000, which is like another number 1 question that's been in my comments. Can I get that difference? Again, everything's not written in stone, so it may change by next week, but just know that each day during the week, not the weekend, because I have kids and I have a family, but each day during the week, I'm going to give you an update on this stuff. But as of today, Monday, January 4th of 2021, qualified applicants can get the $10,000 grant or up to $10,000. Because they will deduct whatever the difference was that you received in grants from your first CARES Act EIDL loan program that you took advantage of months ago. So you'll get the difference of, or the full $10,000. Either way, it'll total to $10,000 free money for you. And lastly is the covered period. Then, in the old CARES Act, or the original CARES Act, it was to expire. The coverage period was from March to December of 2020. Now, it is March 2020 to December 2021. Again, it's all in the wording. Some things was just changed by numbers and slightly, and some things, the whole wording was just all the way wacky. So who's right and who's wrong in this controversy? So who's wrong and who's right with this controversy with Jason and Meet Kevin? Honestly, it's just up for interpretation because they both have their reasonings and why. All we need is just for the SBA to give us the real guidelines for what's going to go on with this program. Literally, all we need is for the SBA to just jump in and mend all of this. We even had a lawyer on YouTube jump in and say Meet Kevin was wrong and Jason was right. But then at the end, he said the SBA can even change it, and then everybody's wrong, and then Kevin is right. So you know what, Kevin, you're right for thinking the way that you're thinking, and I understand the way that you're thinking because you broke it down and such. However, with the wording, I also understand why Jason also sees it the way that he sees it because of the wording. Again, so we're just going to take advantage. All right, I'm done with my rant. Controversy over. Everybody has their reasonings, but I do personally side with Jason. I will honestly say that, and particularly look at sections 331 and 332. Literally, 331 and 332 is talking about the EIDL loan, who's eligible, the time frame, and how much. That's the controversy. How much? We want that shmoney. Give me that shmoney. And you know what else I want? I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And like, comment, subscribe, and share to your girl, because I need the algorithm of YouTube to know that the official TAI exists.